Hello there, and welcome everyone. Today we're in North Georgia looking for native smallmouth bass in the Tennessee River drainage for the Georgia Bass Slam. The Tennessee River drainage is part of the Mississippi River Basin, which is the world's fourth largest drainage basin by area. And you only have 3 native species of black bass in the Mississippi River Basin: the smallmouth bass, the spotted bass, and the largemouth bass. You also have 2 non-native species of black bass in the Tennessee River drainage: the Redeye Bass, which is only native to the Coosa River drainage in the Mobile Basin, and the Alabama Bass, which is also native to the Mobile River Basin. In most areas where you find these non-native species, you no longer have catchable populations of native smallmouth and spotted bass. And that's because native species develop different physical traits, life histories, and behaviors over long periods of time as they adapt to conditions unique to the environment where they live. This process promotes reproductive isolation among native species. Spotted bass and smallmouth bass, for example, are both native to the Tennessee River drainage and the greater Mississippi River Basin. Hybridization between those 2 species is not all that common because they not only look different, they often live and feed in different areas and spawn at different times of the year. That's why they've been able to persist together in the same drainage for a long period of time. For the most part, they're able to avoid each other, especially during the spawn. But when humans start moving fish around, those natural barriers to reproduction haven't had time to develop, resulting in widespread hybridization between species. Native smallmouth bass are kind of rare in Georgia now due to the illegal introduction and spread of non-native species. We've already lost 3 rivers that had native smallmouth and spotted bass: the Hiwassee River, the Notley River, and the Toccoa River. That's 3 different river systems and all the creeks that flow into them. Now that was due to the illegal introduction and spread of Alabama bass, but the same thing is happening in this stream with the non-native Redeye bass. I realized the other day when I was making this video that this graphic is kind of misleading at a glance because it looks like you can catch more species where non-native black bass have been introduced. But you actually end up with fewer species and less diversity over time because smallmouth and spotted bass that spawn with redeye bass or their hybrids are not making more smallmouth and spotted bass. They're just making more hybrids. And I've never seen a body of water recover from an introduction like this in my lifetime. You just end up with more hybrids until the native bass have been extirpated. And I hate to say it, but I don't think we're too far from that happening here. So what is the message here if nothing can be done about it at this point? Why should we even talk about this? Well, the same thing is happening right now in Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, and who knows where else. There are a lot of fisheries that haven't been destroyed by people moving fish. So I think the message is pretty obvious. Don't move fish. Don't stock or introduce non-native species to creeks, rivers, bayous, bays, swamps, sloughs, ponds, lakes, tanks, canals, ditches, drains, or any other body of water. And in case you're new to the channel, I did want to talk about the Georgia Bass Slam for a minute. The Georgia Bass Slam is a program the Georgia DNR has to recognize anglers with the knowledge and skill to catch different species of black bass in different habitats across the state. Another reason or purpose of the Georgia Bass Slam is to stimulate interest in the conservation and management of native black bass and their habitats. To achieve a slam, anglers have to catch at least 5 different species in a calendar year. 5 is the minimum number required for a slam, or you can try to catch all 10 species on the list. Once you complete a slam and submit all of the required info, the Georgia DNR will send an envelope like this, and you'll get a personalized certificate and a letter that congratulates the angler on the number of species caught. You also get 2 free passes to the Go Fish Education Center in Perry, Georgia, a decal of every species caught, and a tape to measure your fish. They also add your name and the number of species caught to an annual list of successful slam anglers on the Georgia DNR website. Your name also goes into a drawing for a grand prize, which includes a framed print of Georgia black bass species and a lot of other really cool stuff. I do the Georgia Bass Slam every year. It's a fun challenge, and it doesn't cost anything to enter. You just need a valid Georgia freshwater fishing license, which is something I get every year anyway. Also, before you watch this video, I just wanted everyone to know I made a trip to this same stream about 3 weeks before this video was shot. Conditions were not ideal. As you can see, the water had a light stain. I was also not able to fish the section I wanted to because they were doing some kind of construction near the launch. Anyway, I caught some fish, but I did not catch a smallmouth for the slam. At one point, I had a pretty good one hooked on a Berkeley Chapo, but it jumped off. I also had some kind of problem with my camera, so I wasn't able to make a video from that trip. The video you're about to watch was shot the last week of August. The water was low and clear, and conditions were pretty much ideal for fishing. So I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. Stopped right here at this log jam to show you just what this kind of looks like when the water's up. So the next time you see a log jam like this, you can kind of imagine what it might look like under the surface of the water. You can see there are plenty of areas here for fish to potentially hold, and you can also see how it would be really hard to present a lure to the bass if they were up under that tree, which is most likely where they're going to be when the water's up, you know, facing upstream. If you come around here, you can see, you know, when the water's up, this log jam extends all the way across the channel here, but you can see just how much real estate there is for the fish up under that debris that's collected here. Here's the view looking back upstream. That's a big sycamore tree, by the way, that all this wood has washed up against, in case you were wondering about that. These sycamore trees, especially in the Tennessee drainage where we're at right now, it's not uncommon to see those really large sycamore trees hanging over the water, especially in the Tennessee River drainage. So a lot of times the roots will be washed out underneath or neck, you know, on the river bank or the creek bank, wherever you may be. But those trees are they're really, their root systems are extremely strong. Almost like a bald cypress, you know, but sort of the upland version, I guess you could say. Or, you know, maybe even a tupelo, an Ogeechee tupelo that you might see below the fall line. But we are way above the fall line, so here in the Tennessee River drainage, the sycamore tree is really the one you see a lot. If you see a big hardwood hanging over into the water, it's a lot of times, and it's still alive, it's a lot of times it'll be a sycamore tree. And they have just really strong root systems, just unbelievably strong, as you can see. And a lot of times the current will erode the bank away, but the roots are still there and they collect wood debris like this, and the fish will also use the root system and the wood debris that collects there as cover. Of course, when the water's up, I'm just showing it to you now so you can kind of get a visual of what that might look like underwater, you know, when you paddle up to it or whatever. Uh-oh. It's running at me. Running at me. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Here we go. Boy, my drag was not set, y'all. And this is looking like the one we came for. It's brown. I'm really wishing I'd put some of that 21-pound braid on instead of this 8-pound fluoro. Now he's going to dive again. Are you kidding me? We got him. We got him. All that for this fish. It looks like a smallmouth, but genetics would be the only way to confirm it. But for the purpose of the Georgia Bass Slam, it is a smallmouth. Probably 16 or so inches, maybe a hair longer. Right there where I missed that fish on the buzzbait, right at the point of that water willow. I've got to document this fish. I've got to find a place where I can get out. Okay, folks, here we go. That fish is 18 1/4. I believe if I was in a tournament, you could probably make him go 18 1/4 there. But for the purpose of the Georgia Bass Slam, that is a really good fish, especially a native fish, native smallmouth bass. I'm gonna let this fish get some oxygen. And then I've got to take an angler portrait pic, so I've got to dig out my digital camera and set the timer. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to try to hold the fish in the water. We got our angler portrait pic. I'll let this guy go. See you, buddy. Thank you so much. And right there on the point of that water willow is where I caught that fish. You can see the foam on the surface coming by the point of that water willow. I actually missed a fish on a buzzbait right there. I had a couple bites on the same cast, actually. I'm not sure if it was the same fish, but as soon as the current pushed me downstream out of the way, I picked up the Texas rig, and you know, my second cast in there with the Texas rig, that fish bit. And you know, smallmouth will hit a Texas rig. You know, you don't see too many people using it, but they will eat it, especially when the water's kind of not real clear like it is today in this particular stream. And that was a green pumpkin red finesse worm, if anybody is curious about that, with a 1/8 ounce bullet weight. A place like that that has a good fish is usually going to have, you know, multiple, more than one anyway, or can have more than one, and that's exactly what we saw there. So a place like that can very well, I don't want to say reload, you know, that's a term you hear a lot from some tournament anglers, but fishing big impoundments, and I'm not going to say reload, but anyway, you know what I mean. There could be one there later in the day. You know, what's going to happen. Oh, there's our first rock bass. Amblopletus rupestris, the rock bass. And we know that's a rock bass because we're in the Tennessee drainage, which is part of the Mississippi Basin. It's not a shadow bass. If we were in the Coosa River drainage or any part of the Mobile Basin, This would be a shadow bass, but that's a rock bass. See you, buddy. This is a little, or what appears to be a spotted bass. He's kind of have a rough life. Something tried to eat him here at one point. You can see right there, it looks like a fish. He chomped. Hello, buddy. You got lucky. See ya. OMG. Okay. Oh, monster rock bass on the Ned rig. He's not a monster, but it's a fish. Oh. One thing about the rock bass genus is they have more than 3 anal fin spines. Micropterus, the black bass, and the sunfish, Lepomis, they all have 3 anal fin spines, and you can see here the rock bass, he's got 6. 6 anal fin spines right there. See you, buddy. Now that's a stud rock bass. Well, you want to catch some rock bass, put on an Ned rig, I'm telling you. Look at that dude. That guy's pushing 10 or 11 inches. See you, buddy. They're all over there in that log jam, having a rock bass jam. Wonder if I can go 3 for 3. I made a bad cast. This Ned rig, as you might know, has an open hook on it, so I can really only cast to the perimeter of this log jam. Oh, I had one. He came off. They're kind of, the better ones are hitting it on the fall. Must be smaller ones that are just grabbing the tail. That's what it feels like. Turned into a nice little rock bass video. I know that's what you guys want. Uh-oh, buddies. He's going nuts out there, whatever it is. He's not jumping. Smallmouth are supposed to jump, buddy. Oh, he's going over there. Oh, don't do that. Let's be friends. I know we can do great things together. We got him. He looks kind of like the first one, but this one's a little chunkier. That's a pretty fish. Okay, let's measure you. Okay, so that dude is right at 17. That's a nice one. Not quite as large as the first one, but beautiful, native, smallmouth. All right, let's get you back in the water because it's too hot to be goofing off. Oh yeah. You know it, buddy. See ya. It looked like a smallmouth, you know, the only way to confirm it is with genetics, but it appeared to be a smallmouth. There are a lot of hybrids, unfortunately, in this body of water. And just to kind of give you some idea where that fish was, the current comes down, there's a little channel bend right there, and right on the edge of that shade you can see the foam moving along, you know, this outside bend. It doesn't look like much of a bend. It's not a deep channel bend, but it is a channel bend, and you actually have the most current right here, and I caught that fish right on, you know, the edge of that shade line, and kind of in the channel right there. And there's a little log jam right here, not much of one, and the log jam we were catching the rock bass is right there. So this is all in the same general area. Again, 1/8 ounce bullet weight and the green pumpkin red Zoom finesse worm with a 1/0 Gamaketsu worm hook. Again, probably not the best lure for smallmouth, but they will hit it. And if there's a lot of wood, it's, you know, it comes through wood cover pretty good. The rocks can be a problem sometimes. If, you know, if you find the 1/8 ounce is getting hung up, you can go to a lighter weight. That's about all you can do. Oh, I just got bit right there. That's not a rock bass. If it is a rock bass, it's the mother of all rock bass. Oh my gosh. That's a good rock bass. That's the biggest one of the day. You better be big if you're going to hang with a smallmouth. Look at that sucker. That's a nice one. Get some good fillets off of him. See ya. Oh, largemouth. And up here in the Tennessee River drainage, that probably is a largemouth, a real largemouth. Not a Florida largemouth hybrid, but a real largemouth. You can see how stocky that fish is, how deep. It's a deep-bodied fish. That probably is a real largemouth. See ya, buddy. Well, y'all, I was almost back to my truck and my battery died. So I just kept throwing the buzzbait. I hadn't caught anything on the buzzbait decent all day until this fish. Look at this thing. Look at that fish. Beautiful, beautiful smallmouth. I can't believe the strike was just crazy, and the jumps were just insane, and I will never forgive myself for not, I mean, if I had changed the battery, I probably wouldn't have caught the fish. So it's, you know, so there it is. Fish doesn't want to shut its mouth. I don't blame it. It's about 18 and a half, give or take. I'm not going to take any angler portrait pics. I've already got one roughly approximately that size, but just an amazing bite and fight, which again, if I had changed the battery, I probably wouldn't have caught the fish, because I was almost on top of this water willow. See you, buddy. Right there, this little water willow point. She was right there. And, you know, the cast threw the buzzbait right there to the head of this grass bed, the top end there, the upstream end. And the buzzbait got about right there, you know, maybe within a foot of that grass. The only thing I am disappointed in is not having the, you know, I got to start changing these batteries before they completely die. That's really the only thing you can do.